2008. The 54th all-time meeting between these two teams. We are expecting a good one tonight in Morgantown. Sorber's first shot is too strong. Offensive rebound for Drew Fielder, who actually has more offensive rebounds than defensive this year. Epps for three, got it. That's Jaden Epps, one of the lone returners, one of just two guys who actually played last year back on this Hoyas team.
Yeah, it's amazing what balance does. It makes the game a lot easier. I mean, he really had to work for everything he got last year, and he didn't really get to experience winning. Only won 9 games. So good balance this year is going to help.
DeVries' first shot is off the mark. Tucker DeVries, one of 5 transfers in the starting 5 for West Virginia. 14 total newcomers. 10 of them by way of the transfer portal. It's just the world we live in.
It is the world we live in, but I also think it explains the lack of expectations coming into the season. Georgetown,
plenty of new faces as well, but the 2 returners, Fielder and Epps, have been key so far for them. And then a guy like Micah Peavy with the ball right now, who has familiarity with the Big 12 Conference. Played at Texas Tech and then TCU. He's been a big piece for Ed Cooley and company.
Ed Cooley said he was going to run some flex action, and he did just that. It's amazing. Something that we've all known since we were in 5th grade is highly effective if done correctly, particularly if you get the ball in the post and look to skip.
Year 2 for Ed Cooley is Small. Nice move. Javon Small hits his first triple.
He's such a threat to come off and turn the corner. That defense's retreat and a little head fake just gets the defense to fly by. Gets a wide open one to get started.
Darren DeVries really excited about how Javon Small and Tucker DeVries are learning to play together.
Yes.
And what that space that Tucker gives Small is doing for his game. Looking for the backdoor, DeVries with the steal. Here comes West Virginia. DeVries kicks it out for Small, and again on the pump fake. Short, but an offensive rebound. They go inside, one of the first paint touches. That's Amani Hansberry.
Oh, smart recognition, right? You see on the offensive rebound, a bit of a scramble. Defense just takes who they can take. You had the advantage down low, and they were able to capitalize.
There's some physical play underneath. Sorber whistled for the foul.
We talk about Sorber as a prospect. One of the things you have to learn as a young guy who is that important is you can't pick up easy fouls, because now any experience on the floor, if I'm West Virginia, I am finding a way to attack Sorber and get him out of the game because he's that important.
Well, one thing they wanted to do was get bigger in the offseason. They did that, but they're without the freshman Julius Halifanoa. He fractured his left ankle. He'll be out for the foreseeable future. Offensive rebound again. Putback goes. Nice job by Sincere Harris, one of a couple Illinois transfers.
Sincere Harris is really known for his ability to defend, but he also flies. He gets through the lane. He's a great cutter, and that often opens up offensive rebounding opportunities.
Turnovers an early issue for Georgetown, and there's another one. Peavy gives it away. Harris, and he lost it to give it right back to the Hoyas.
By the way, before tip, we were kind of like, where is everybody? We know we're going to have a good crowd Friday night. Great crowd for the first test for Georgetown as well. It's first road game, and this is going to be a good one. Friday night, it's almost as if the ball went up, they tipped it, and all of a sudden everybody filled the stands, showed up. This is good.
Georgetown's maybe their biggest test. Notre Dame didn't go the way they wanted to. Sorber was a little bit under the weather that night, but this is another measuring stick before their schedule really heats up.
Yeah, and I think they're going to settle in here in the first 5 minutes. You just want to get to that under 16 timeout, figure things out, make your adjustment.
Mack with a little floater, rolls off. Sorber fighting for it. DeVries rebounds. Sorber, nice take, and right back to Fielder for the flush.
If you're going to have that size, you've got to be able to attack the glass, especially those ones, the balls that are bouncing around the rim. Just root your way in there into position, keep that thing alive. Sorber did just that.
Averages almost 3 assists per game.
Well, you look at Cooper Flagg and Thomas Sorber, like, they're not just good scorers or rebounders. They're good players. They make good decisions. And as you ask more and more of them, those are the type of guys that step up with more responsibility.
O'Connie No good. Fielder rebounds. And Mack going to work again. Now Micah Peavy. Peavy bodied. That's a foul, and it'll take us to our first media timeout.
Good start. Good start. Look, we've asked for some of the best players to show up. That's what we typically do. We talk about prospects. We talk about their potential. Well, look, Thomas Sorber's the kind of guy, he's just going to make plays. And Georgetown may have to make a lot of plays to stay in this one. West Virginia's been rolling early. You have to find a balance with your players and your personnel. You can't just go out and get the best five-star talent and think that you're going to assemble a good team. You can't just get the best Power 5 talent and assemble a team. I think it's funny how Tucker DeVries is probably the best player on the floor, yet he came from the smallest program. So did his dad. But a terrific job at that program. I got to cover them for the last couple of years in the Missouri Valley Conference Championship, Arch Madness. And they were just a very well-coached team. And you'd almost think that they played beyond their potential. And I think that's what good coaching ultimately does. So if you can combine the two, right, good personnel and guys that know how to play basketball, you're going to have success here, as they have already to start the season.
So there was a shot clock issue with the shot clock above Georgetown's basket as the Hoyas turn it over again. So they are going to try to get that fixed at the under 12 media timeout, but for the time being, they put a couple clocks on the floor.
3.0.
Not sure what, I've not seen that one before.
I'll tell you, there's nothing more frustrating than when my phone doesn't work, right? Technology that I can't fix.
Nice pass by DeVries and the flush from Eduardo Andre. Their biggest post presence at 6'11" from London, England.
But he was getting DeVries the ball in the post. He's a great playmaker, and he's such a threat that he's going to draw a double team if he's got the advantage, as he does now.
Against Mack, DeVries under control and then overshoots it. Now Epps going to work. Epps inside, does a nice job to cradle it and lay it in.
So I like that from Epps because this is a Georgetown team struggled with a few empty possessions. It feels as if it was like a 10-point West Virginia lead. Georgetown's right there, but they needed a good possession. Just put it on the floor, used his body, and finished one at the rim.
5 points for Epps in this one so far. Micah Peavy almost had a steal.
I like the disruption for Ed Cooley, just kind of mixing some defenses up. You know, made basket, they get back into a zone. It at least, it slows down your attack, and it makes you at least think as a team for a few seconds. And the thinking part is what's disruptive. You know, you can disrupt with pressure. It just makes you uncomfortable. You can also disrupt by switching things up and making the opponent think.
KJ Tenner in for West Virginia. Freshman guard from Memphis. Tenner physical take, rims off, Fielder rebounds. Fielder wants the three. Got it.
Both coaches talked about having to defend a pick and pop with a shooting 5. It is so difficult, as is the drag ball screen in transition. One of the hardest things to defend in college, particularly when you have a 5 that can trail the play into an open 3.
Just the third 3 of the season for Fielder. That's something Georgetown would like to do better. Need to shoot the ball at a higher percentage from long range. Step back from Powell, rims off.
It doesn't feel like Georgetown's up, right? Am I alone in this? Like, now it does. But it really felt like for a while there, West Virginia has been controlling the game, getting easier baskets, but Georgetown has just hung in there, and now a couple good possessions, starting with the Epps layup. Really, that was it.
Epps and Fielder have all 13 for Georgetown. And a travel against the freshman Tenner.
It's good defense for Georgetown, and in so many ways kind of spurred by their ability to wake up on the offensive end. I think Look, this is a big play. You know, you take the first best shot you can get. In college basketball these days, I know it's not how it always was, but you could work for 30 seconds and take a bad one, or you could take the best one you get in the first 5. Ed Cooley talked about that. We want to play faster. They practice with a 24-second shot clock, which I love. We should be playing with a 24-second shot clock. Or 20. I'm good with either.
You really want to shorten it up.
I like the pace of an up and down game. Players are better that way.
Double comes, nice hand to the fielder. Looking for the flush, but he's fouled instead.
Fielder's been really good, just staying spaced out. Like, he was actually open at the three-point line, but he wasn't open in the position where he could have gotten the pass based on where the double came from. Double comes down, he made the right read. And went to a finish aggressively.
Kentucky transfer Jordan Brooks on that little handoff to Fielder, who gets the first free throw. Well, maybe the main priority for Ed Cooley, they needed to get tougher. They need to be better defensively, and he went to the portal and did a fantastic job talking about Micah Peavy and how elite of a defender he has been. This is one of the worst defensive teams in the country last year.
Look, they struggled. They struggled on so many levels last year. Micah Peavy is, just look at him physically, he's a grown man. It allows you to match up with multiple positions, and that allows you to be a little bit more flexible and adaptable to the personnel of your opponent.
Why will Ed Cooley win at Georgetown?
Because he's a winner. I mean, like, there are some guys, all they know how to do is win. He will adjust, he will adapt. There's no one simple system or style that he'll run. He's also a true players coach, and a players coach, it's big three in the corner. Players coaches are not the guys that can connect with players on a players level. Players coaches are the ones that can balance between being the authoritative figure that is a head coach, but also having their players' best interests at heart. Ed Cooley does that sincerely, and that's why he'll win. Amongst other reasons.
Fielder, another three.
How about it? And
Too strong.
I think the aggressiveness to shoot that shot makes the defense actually work. Now it's going to lead to long closeouts. It's going to open up driving lanes and cutting lanes. That should open things up for Georgetown, just a willingness to shoot that shot. In theory, at least.
Hansberry fouled in the paint. That'll take us to a timeout. Georgetown in front, but West Virginia still finding an opening.
Yeah, they need to. I mean, it was a nice little run by Georgetown, but a little drive and kick, create, you lose sight as your man, wide open, bang. I'm telling you, like, technology, when it doesn't work, might be my #1 because I feel helpless, right? It's like having a sick child. You're just like, there's nothing I can do. I want to help. You know, we're fixers, right? And technology doesn't work. I have no idea. But I will tell you, I'm probably the first one to stand over somebody and tell them what they should be doing.
Yeah, there you go.
And he said, well, there's a lot of teams that have the potential to be really good, but they could also be beaten by anyone. And I think that's kind of what college basketball is these days with the transfer portal and all the instability that we've brought on the game because, look, I'm not against paying players with NIL. I'm not against the transfer portal, but you do have to accept that it could also be dangerous for the game. It could be dangerous for some of the players where it's hard to realize your potential if you're bouncing around a lot. So I think it's going to be a challenge to find consistency, to find continuity, because there are teams there in the top 10 that have tremendous potential, but they haven't yet figured out how to play together. And the dynamics of one another, the interpersonal dynamics that you figure out over years, years worth of periods, they haven't really been able to do that yet. So I want to see who can find consistency. I was most impressed by Duke against Auburn. That was a playmaker's game. Now, that doesn't mean both of those teams can't be beaten by anyone. But you saw elite playmakers making plays to win basketball games. That's ultimately what college basketball is kind of becoming. You can teach all you want. You can have the best system in the world, but the reality is playmakers are going to win. And I think Duke showed us a little something in that one. I was very impressed. I'm actually headed to see them next at Louisville, which is another program on the map. Think of it, West Virginia, Georgetown, Louisville, all really good storied programs kind of on the rebuild.
The coaches and officials coming together, and we'll hope to get an explanation shortly as well. If you joined us in the middle of this, it is a shot clock issue. At one point, it was just one shot clock. Now they're both off. They were trying to get some temporary options on the floor and running, but currently that is not happening.
I mean, it's hard because part of you wants to say, we'll figure it out, let's ball. And I feel like that's what Ed Cooley's saying, but at the same time, you're like, you kind of need to know what we're dealing with here. If Paul Sell's going to give us an explanation.
So what's the word?
You're going to keep the one going for the time being. They're going to work on getting the ones on the floor going, but now it looks like the ones up top are working, so.
Well, we play on as Sorber blocks the shot inside. A nice timeout for the teams, I guess, to talk things over. It's almost like a first halftime.
Yeah, it was like a live podcast. You know, we got some stuff in.
That's why I brought you, man.
We got a promo in. I'm made for blowouts and bad shot clocks.
Shot clocks. Well, Georgetown up 2. Just 2 scores for the Hoyas so far in this game. Epps and Fielder. 10 to shoot for Peavy. Peavy fires from 3. No good. Sorber offensive rebound. And he's fouled by DeVries.
It appears as if both, I shouldn't say anything. It appears as if both shot clocks are working. So whatever my man did on behind the basket. I always look at these long breaks and say, like, hey, if you're coming out of a long break, it's almost like a restart to the game. You just want to get the ball moving. You want to really ramp up the music a little bit, right? Build a little rhythm.
Sorber hits the first free throw. He's a freshman from Trenton, New Jersey. Big recruit, but maybe not to what they are seeing in his first year at Georgetown. He was number 56 on the ESPN 100, went to Archbishop Ryan in Pennsylvania. But this kid's got a chance. I mean, they have a history of great bigs.
Yes.
And of course, no one's putting him in that category yet, but he looks the part.
He's like a big guard, really. I mean, his mobility, his versatility, he's got a good feel for the game. But what I said in the open about winning best smile and best and most positive, if you don't think that matters when you're a top 20 level prospect for the NBA draft, like, it absolutely does. Those are the guys that are good teammates. Those are the guys that want to teach, want to be taught. Those are the guys that want to learn. I also like that he's not one of those guys coming into the season everyone talked about, right? He's going to go out and earn it. Although other guys like Cooper Flagg, they got to go out and prove it.
And both of them in different ways, as you're talking about, have done that and put up big numbers. But look at the numbers between Flagg and Sorber so far.
Yeah.
I mean, similar.
For sure. Now, look, let's put the asterisk on there that Georgetown hasn't played the same competition,
Yeah.
but so what? Like, you have to understand, like, winning in college basketball is not easy. It doesn't matter who you're playing against. I think carrying the load that came into the season for Cooper Flagg was one of the toughest things, particularly the Kentucky game, how that ended. There's a guy who wanted the ball, and look, the Auburn game, he delivered it and then some.
Well, West Virginia needed that. DeVries the other direction, lays it in. Their first field goal in more than 3 minutes.
Well, they started the game really well, and I felt like they were controlling both sides of the floor. And they went to a second group that lost a little of that mojo. Now they've got to bring it back.
Peavy, little reverse layup, wild shot, misses. Now DeVries looking to tie or take the lead. It's way off the mark. Mack in transition. So shifty at the point guard position, off the mark on his mid-range shot. Ivy League Rookie of the Year last year at Harvard. Quick swing. Powell steps in, rims off. Georgetown's done a decent job keeping the crowd at bay to this point. It's a place that can get going quickly, those. Sorber misses the mid-range jumper.
They have gotten good looks out of the simple flex offense, right? It really is simple. It brings everybody tight, that you know where the screen's coming, but there are options and counters to whatever you take away. But that's a good look for Sorber.
Harris open. Georgetown now on a scoring drought that's approaching 3 minutes.
Well, if you don't think basketball is all about rhythm and flow, have a 5-minute stoppage and then watch how shooting struggles after that.
Trying to get it into Sorber and couldn't. Peavy, nice bounce pass to Sorber, who soars at the rim.
A lot of times where you see a guy, you want to get the ball down low. It is really up to the guy covering the passer to take a lot of that away. And Tucker DeVries did a good job of showing high hands, gapping, coming back up on the ball, gapping back. Made it really difficult to throw the ball inside.
Small. Ooh, that's a pretty floater. 5 points for Small. He had a tremendous trip to the Bahamas. Scored 31 against Gonzaga, 26 against Louisville. Long pass, somehow completed and laid in by Hansberry.
That was a bit of a top turnbuckle, high-risk maneuver, but it got through and gave him an easy one, and now we're tied up.
Mack going to work, lost it right to Peavy. That's a physical take from Peavy, but it rolls off. Sorber. Oh, the no-look pass from the freshman.
I mean, there are some things you can't teach, and feel is one of those. It's something that you try to develop as a coach, right? You almost create this environment that facilitates the development of feel. Some kids just have it. Sorber's got that. He's got that good feel for the game.
And he frustrates Hansberry there to take us to a timeout.
And when you get stars the ball and they start to really pick you apart, sometimes it's scoring, right? You get to the basket, you throw one down, that feels really good. But then you start to get your eyes open. You get your eyes up, you start to see the floor, you be a bit of a playmaker with the ball without. Sorber's got it. Friday. Do you take a stance on the college football playoff and whether you think some teams should be in or not, or
do I personally?
Yeah, do you like, where are you with Alabama? Like, that seems to be, I don't know enough to care that much. I'm one of the very few people in this world.
Yeah. I feel like I have to see it all in front of me. I mean, I don't want to say no on Alabama sitting here right now. I know they've got 3 losses, but
I just know that you could make the college football playoffs 60 teams and someone's going to be annoyed in the end.
Yeah, that's true.
Right? So we can keep expanding it all you want. Someone's going to be annoyed.
Georgetown extending their lead to 4 right out of the breaks. 5:40 to play in the first half. O'Connie driving.
Tough.
Right-hand layup is good.
Yeah. Interesting group with Tucker DeVries off the floor. You don't have the same amount of space to work with. I mean, he just changes the game with that gravity.
Evie spinning baseline, kicked out for Williams. Williams with a good take, pinned against the glass though by Andre. Small stepping back. Another one for Javon Small.
Really good response from West Virginia, particularly with Tucker DeVries off the floor. Yeah, they went to the second lineup and they struggled last night. How in the world did that go in?
Jaden Epps.
I mean, look, like slot, angle, side, yeah, you bank it off okay, but straight away, it's actually a hard shot to make.
13 points for Epps, though. 4 lead changes already in the game.
Well, it's kind of the role Epps had to play last year. I mean, it's going to be easier because of the balance around him.
Harris dribbles through. High floater is short. Epps again.
I don't mind it. Usually a heat check comes after a swish, not a banked in straightaway, but he's been the guy. Good defense.
Small mid-range this time. Had it the whole time and cashes it in.
You know, Malik Mack was right there. He fought over every screen, got back. It was just the last screen where he didn't get back quickly enough. And he did a good job, but it just wasn't quickly enough.
Small into double figures for West Virginia. Max 3 is too strong. Harris rebounds. The Mountaineers do want to run a little bit. Whistle near the free throw line.
They're starting to wake up. I think the shot clock issue kind of took a little life out of the game. Well, now we're waking up again. Javon Small, you go under, he can punish you. Good release. But Epps on the other end, just finding ways to keep his team in this game. And sure, that counts. He didn't win that game or anything. He didn't really force any turnovers. You know, I don't know what coaches really do in this profession, Coach, but, you know, players win games. I'm sure I'll get a text here in a second.
Hey, I knew you were going to get Penn State in. It was...
Yeah, God bless him. It was a good game. Mike Rose has done a good job. Like, he also got on the mic afterwards and was like, this is what we're going to do. That was great.
Fielder pulls down the miss. 25 all with 3:10 to play. Fielder now 6 rebounds. Georgetown has essentially been all Jaden Epps, 5 for 6 from the field. The rest of the team just 4 for 17. Max layup no good. Sorber another offensive rebound and a putback. They have 11 second chance points on just 5 offensive rebounds.
You know, and sometimes that happens when you take tough shots, right? Where you attack and you defense collapse, you just get it up off the rim. And because there's multiple players contesting it, there are offensive rebounding opportunities. I mean, Georgetown's going to be better when they find better balance. They haven't got much in transition. They're a good transition team, nothing today.
Small guarded by Peavy, Long on his mid-range attempt. Into Sorber, the double comes and the turnover. DeVries guarded by Peavy. This is a good matchup. Sorber comes to double to Andre, who traveled.
Tucker DeVries just brings a lot of defenders with him. And I'm just watching him dribble to the post, and it was like he was going to force his way to the post, knowing that he was going to get doubled, and that was going to create an opportunity for somebody else. It's not as if he was dribbling there to take the shot.
Fresh off 26 in their win over Arizona, hit 8 threes.
I would argue that's more of an indictment on the opponent. No offense.
Mack hits the triple.
That's good to get someone else other than Epps rolling, and he's gonna get one. Come on.
He was talking to the crowd, and it looks like Mack's been teed up.
You were just talking about how the crowd really hasn't been rolling as much. You thought they'd be tougher. Well, I think Malik Mack just woke him up. Let's see, here he is.
Is that enough for you?
I mean, it rarely is. I let a lot go, and I like the idea of going to him like, yo, I heard that, cool it, right? I like this slap on the wrist. Like when I get pulled over, I really appreciate the warning, right? I think a warning is a great way, because if you give them a warning and say, hey, yo, I heard that, like, clean it up, right? If you give them the warning, you could justify teeing them up the next time. I guess I'm a graceful official. And the funny thing is, as I'm saying that, I would probably dish out more tees than anybody under the sun. So like, don't talk to me like that.
Well, that one's for the crowd. I don't think Ed Cooley was really upset with Malik Mack at all, though. He was more upset with the officials.
I don't know what particularly was said, but I still like the little, hey, warning.
Almost given away there by Jonathan Powell. Now Small back to work. Man, he's been good to start the season.
You can't sag too much on those ball screens. I understand why they are, particularly if Tucker DeVries is involved in the ball screen. He's popping, so you want to go under, you get out there to cover DeVries. But they've gotten beat multiple times that way.
13 for Small, now back to Sorber. Does he have the answer? The double comes, no, Small rebounds. Small pushing, DeVries down the paint. The body control, but the miss. Ed Cooley wants a timeout to talk things over. We'll step away. Georgetown leading West Virginia by 2. We're back in 30.
We define everybody by outcomes and potential, and whether you're living up to the potential or not. And this isn't easy, right? It takes some time to figure out. Talent's there for sure. Also, it depends what you're surrounded by.
Preseason rankings mean less than ever in today's game. 3 seconds to shoot for Peavy, going inside. Tough shot, rims off, and tipped out of bounds. It'll be West Virginia ball.
I wonder if we'll take one here. I wonder if DeVries is, yeah, he will take one. Good opportunity to draw one up. Look, these are situations you're probably prepared for, but it also gives you a chance to get the right personnel on the floor.
And we'll step away for 30 seconds. .7 left in the first half. Georgetown up 2. West Virginia, though, with the ball, a chance to tie or take the lead. Where are you looking here if you're Darren DeVries?
I actually like Tucker DeVries is a great decoy. Maybe run him around as if he's going to get the ball and just space the floor with him. You got Javon Small. If you can get Javon Small the ball, he can get downhill against anybody. The real question is what Georgetown does. Like, do you pick up? I like picking up, but at the same time, chasing around kind of gives an advantage to the offense who's on the move. Half court's not a bad pickup. You put one or two back on the ball, but keep some help back. Looks like that's what they're going to do. And there's DeVries just spaced out in the corner. This was reviewed. God, if I watch everything in slow-mo, it could go either way. All right, now hit the cutter.
No, Connie, 4 seconds and a quick foul by Georgetown. Just their 5th team foul.
It felt like you had to get rid of that quickly. Another one's going to happen. If you get rid of it quickly, maybe you get some room.
Yeah, still another to give. Small foul in the backcourt. 2.8 seconds now for West Virginia. Amani Hansberry will be the inbounder. Into Small, 2 seconds. Small, long shot is no good. You see those two, 13 each for their respective sides. One concern for West Virginia, just 2 points for Tucker DeVries in that first half. How do you get him going offensively?
You do it naturally. You also play through him. It doesn't mean you have to play to him, right? Playing through him means he's involved, he's an active playmaker, because whether he's scored or not, he's still going to attract attention, particularly if he has an advantage in the post. And this flex has been terrific. They really had good options within the flex when they've stuck with it and kept the movement.
Epps trying to get right back to work. Too strong, rebound, Hansberry.
You know, they froze Sorber in the post because they wanted to get it there in the flex, but if they continued to operate that, he's going to get a tight curl at the elbow and get another option.
Great ball movement, corner threes. No good from Toby Okani. Good look for West Virginia on the offensive end. Fielder. It's really him and Epps to start the game for Georgetown, scoring the ball. And now working together. 4 to shoot. Epps getting downhill. Epps scoop layup is good.
Really tough finish. I mean, had the defender just on his shoulder and then kind of used his body to shield the basketball. Tough finish. I also like Fielder in that pick and pop situation. I just think it opens up the floor.
Epps up to 15. His season high is 23 against St. Francis earlier this year. Hansberry from long range. And another rebound for Fielder.
It's a good look, and that's how you get Tucker DeVries going. You just get him involved in the contest, and that means, again, playing through him in some way or another.
He's got another foul on Hansberry, away from the ball, fighting with Thomas Sorber.
The other easy way to do it is put him into a ball screen situation with Javon Small. I mean, those two understand how to play. They'll figure it out.
Into Sorber, it was when he wasn't looking, he was spinning around. Miscommunication between him and Fielder timing-wise.
Yeah, playing in the post is almost like an offensive lineman, where technique matters. You know, guards, it's footwork, yes, but ultimately, you make plays. You know, you're going to perfect your footwork. In the post, like, technique matters, and being able to work a guy up the line to allow for that pass to get there, something Sorber's just going to get better and better at.
There's a pick and pop with DeVries and Small. Okani now. Harris, 4 to shoot. Deep 3 from Small. Fielder tipped it right to Harris. Quick pass across, Small, patient shot, rims off. Mack, nice crossover. Inside, Micah Peavy with the putback. Timeout on the floor. Strong start to the second half for Georgetown.
Basketball. You have to look back at guys like that and say the value is because of them, right? They helped grow this. They helped build this into what it is that now these kids get to realize a part of. but it's not without Jerry West, Dikembe Mutombo, John Wooden, you name it, Bill Walton, come on. Like, this didn't just show up overnight having the value that it has. It was built. It took time. And now look, I think the NCAA was a little behind in terms of adjusting to the realities of billion-dollar contracts, but it's good to take a step back and understand that the NBA wasn't always like it is. College certainly wasn't. At one point, you know what it was? Amateur athletics. It probably cost money to play.
These two programs hoping to get back to what they have been historically.
Yeah.
West Virginia not quite as far removed.
No, but in today's day, 2-3 years of struggles, it feels like it's been an eternity. I mean, the expectation of these programs is to win.
Air ball from Mack in the corner. Hear from it now from the West Virginia student section.
I think Georgetown's the one, though. I mean, college basketball fans, I grew up in the 80s. My sister was born. My mother was in the hospital giving birth to my sister in 1985 when Villanova took down Georgetown. And, they were the juggernaut on a level that you can't comprehend. And I think it's like, do you get back to that? It's like, I don't know. Yeah, I don't think anyone ever does, because that was a different era. So you have to define your own success and establish a culture and identity that is unique and sustainable to you. I do think Ed Cooley can do that. Sure did it at Providence.
And certainly from what we've talked to him, he's up for the challenge.
He's got the personality for it, too.
Turnover, not going to be happy with that play from Mack, and giving West Virginia opportunities. They haven't been able to get in a groove yet offensively.
No, I think the game has gotten physical, and it has been slowed down a little bit, and that favors Georgetown. I mean, you just look at the floor physically. Georgetown's more comfortable operating. It's why they're running some of that flex, trying to feed the ball inside. Also taking away transition opportunities. That's a good look.
O'Connie hits it. They had missed 6 straight threes. That is a big one for the Mountaineers.
Look at that. Defense gets extended. If you just break the initial extended pressure, you're going to have wide open opportunities. They found it, just got one to go down.
And the crowd responding to Darren DeVries getting fired up on the sideline. Sorber. Mack penetrating for Sorber, and you see the athleticism on the finish. DeVries, quick three. Got it! All tied at 36. Mack fade away. He hits it, and back and forth we go now.
All right, things are getting fun now. Good push.
O'Connie. Too strong. Rebound, Peavy.
I don't know about that one, but I like the fact that they're pushing tempo a little bit. Try to put some tempo in this game.
Mack in transition.
I don't think he realizes he missed a lot of his previous shots, and I love that about him. Almost reminds me of somebody.
Who is? Is that the guy I'm sitting next to? Small from DeVries. Small with the floater off the glass. And one chance.
And that's special. We just had a nice little riff in this game. I think, look, if basketball is jazz, we finally got things rolling a little bit. Sorber making the right reads. I mean, this kid, the potential's tremendous, because now we're going down the other end, and DeVries, the trail, no one's there. He's got the green light. This game is starting to really light up. Javon Small getting into the action. Got to be there. Just jump straight up, Sorber. A lot of time and effort and consideration that really represents. It's like people just think, oh, they're good. They've always been good. You have no idea what that represents. The dedication to people. And growing a game. By the way, look at the game from when he started coaching to where it is now. significant growth.
A list of incredible players that he's had at UConn as Mack rises up and misses. That falls really nicely to Fielder, and it's more second chance points for Georgetown. It's 15 in the game.
It's a combination of physicality and movement, right? There's good movement when shots go up. Georgetown's been anticipating, they're attacking, but they're also moving well off the ball, which gets defense chasing it out of position.
13 offensive rebounds per game. That's second among Big East teams so far this season.
Well, it's like Texas A&M, one of the best in the country, get on the offensive glass. They're not the biggest team in the country.
Small, that's block shot. Andre chases after it, but goes down. A little contact there, but no whistle.
I think Tucker DeVries is saying, my bad. I mean, really just didn't see shot clock and gave it up. Should have taken the opportunity with enough time on the clock to just try to make a play.
.13:30 to play in Morgantown. Home team has won every matchup in the Big 12 Big East battle so far. Nice rebound by DeVries to spin it free for Small. 5-on-4 the other way right now. Peavy is slow to get back. Open three, no good. DeVries, another one, right to Andre for the flush.
DeVries rebounds very well, and it's not because he's a freak athlete. He just has a great feel for basketball. Plays position, anticipates really well, has tremendous instincts.
Inside, blocked by Andre. West Virginia trying to go quickly. Tenor downhill, floats it up and misses, but he's fouled. Foul's going to go against Jordan Burks.
You know, when you look at these two teams, it's like Georgetown, you really want to grind it, pound it inside, run through that flex a little bit, try to find your advantage and play to it. Slow the game down a little bit, make it a physical grind. On the other end, if you get stops and rebounds, you've got to turn them into runouts for West Virginia, particularly with DeVries trailing the play. Nova hadn't showed us much. Talk about a tough job. Why don't you go ahead and trail Jay Wright? You know, it's like Darren DeVries, like not having to follow Bob Huggins. Like the little break in between helps. Wow.
A rare break for Javon Small on the bench right now for West Virginia. Tie game, though, and a chance for the Mountaineers to take the lead. It's sent away by Burks.
I mean, just look at the time. It's calculated. There's 25 seconds left till the under 12, so you're going to maximize his break while minimizing his time off the floor.
West Virginia inbounding. Harris on the baseline, maybe a late sub here, and they won't get Sorber in time.
He seemed like he was half interested. Like if you really wanted to get in the game, I would have been yelling. Yo, yo, yo.
Powell thought about the three, tried to feed it to Andre, and he gives it away. Burks up top for Mack. Mack downhill quickly. Oh man! Not happening. Andre sends it. Harris can't get the layup. And that goes off DeVries. That would have sent this place into a frenzy after the denial by Eduardo Andre.
So you've got to capitalize on big plays that electrify the arena, particularly your home arena. Big block. I mean, Malik Mack gets to the rim. You've got to find a way to capitalize. Look, even if it just means get to the free throw line. What a
their only Big East championship. They were in the league from 1995 to 2012 before joining the Big 12 Conference.
I hate to feel all nostalgic, but like sometimes when you watch like 10-year-old tapes, you're like, man, like the game was great. Like it's like the talent is better, but there was just something about the history of the Big East. Be careful, I don't want to offend the wrong people.
Meeting number 54 between these two. Georgetown leads all time 27-26, but haven't won in Morgantown since 2008.
Sorber just picks up just a bad one for your fourth. I mean, and this goes back to his first foul. right? Remember I said his first foul was just careless. It was just not needed, and then that compounds to the point where now you look at it and you go, all right, here's your fourth. And I don't see it.
He'll have to take a seat for probably an extended period now. So Fielder at the 5, and
did he really? I don't know. I know they want to clean up screening, but can't take it away completely.
Layup rims off. Nice putback.
I mean, that was above the rim, literally. We overuse that all the time. Playing above the rim. That was above the rim.
O'Connor got the putback. It's the first lead for West Virginia since it was 23-22. Epps working against Harris. Epps inside, misses. O'Connor running the floor, and an easy one for West Virginia. Timeout, Georgetown.
It's good to finally capitalize on a transition opportunity. And Sincere Harris, great defense to avoid fouling, force a tough shot. You've got numbers, you push. Cuddy runs ahead, great pass, an easy finish. And I swear he was above the rim. Sometimes I embellish and make things up, but yeah, he's up there. Yeah, and that's been Georgetown too tonight, attacking the offensive glass. But when you're the aggressor, you draw defense by attacking. As that defense converges, they're out of position to rebound. You might as well be aggressive and go attack the offensive glass.
An 8-0 West Virginia run over the last 2 minutes and 14 seconds.
Look at Darren DeVries. He's into it. He's a calm guy. He said he never got a technical in his life. I don't know how that's possible.
Four-point lead. Epps deep three, no good. Rebound, Tucker DeVries.
Telling you, DeVries is a good rebounder. Doesn't out-jump anybody, but he times his jump perfectly. Instincts help.
7 rebounds tonight for him. Just 5 points, but he's had an impact on this game for sure.
Look for these shot opportunities in the corner. West Virginia's been able to break down this zone, get the ball inside, and then look corners.
Small, contested. Got it! For Javon Small. Fielder can't answer. Small has the rebound. And a foul against Malik Mack.
This West Virginia team just woke up, and they got the building up and doing it. Look, good little action. Drive, occupy, throw behind. It's all good stuff. A tough made shot. I mean, that's how you, once you get it rolling, you can become the aggressor, start to push tempo, make Georgetown play your game the same way West Virginia's kind of had to play according to Georgetown's terms.
Javon Small loving life as a Mountaineer so far. He is off to an excellent start.
Oh, boy.
And look at this place now. A 10-point lead for West Virginia.
I love the good, bad shots, right? Like, those people would say that's not exactly what you're looking for, but I think you got to feel situation. You feel the situation here. This place is erupting. Tucker DeVries hasn't really been able to get this shot, and this is one he looks for. Right time, right place. Look, the time is you're rolling, you're making a run. Miss or make, you've been able to defend and get back out, push tempo. I like the quick shot because it puts more tempo on the game, and if it goes in, it leads to a timeout. 14-0 run over the last 340. Sorry, I just read a graphic, but wow, that's big.
And 10-0 since Sorber took a seat with his fourth foul. How nice is it if you're Darren DeVries, you got to go rebuild a program in Morgantown, West Virginia, and you say, how about I bring my two-time Conference Player of the Year son with me to help out?
That's a huge piece of it. He's also a great spacer, which helps maximize the potential of the other guys you bring in. But then it's about bringing in the right guys who are willing to compete, right? Maybe not the guys that are going to get the biggest paycheck, but the guys that are going to come in with a chip on their shoulder and help part of a rebuilding process for a very good program.
And now how does Georgetown respond? Their first road game, another block shot. Peavy corrals it, though. Peavy back to work, 10 on the shot clock. Sorber, he had to come back into the game. Mack, 2 seconds, turnover.
Defense has really picked up from West Virginia, really spurred by their offense. Some teams get jacked up by scoring, and then their defense picks up. Other teams build off their defense.
Trying to extend this 14-0 run. DeVries likes this matchup. Leads it, gets it to go. They've made 5 straight shots.
I mean, this is the test that you want if you're Ed Cooley. First road game, and you are being tested. Good pass. Good
got
pass.
It finally in the form of the freshman Caleb Williams.
Yeah, but it came from Sorber, and it didn't come with a delay, right? A lot of times that ball gets in the post. They wait, take a breath, try, look, and then make a late pass. He anticipated who was going to be open, made a quick touch pass.
It's a Washington, D.C. product. Good feed back doors, a push. Sorber was in the area. We'll see who this foul is on when we come back. West Virginia up 9.
To the point where it's become unifying, right? I just, as a player you saw it, and now as a broadcaster, it's kind of become unifying to be a part of V-Week and what it represents. And understanding that Jim Valvano's legacy is far more than anything he did in basketball.
Yeah.
As is Dick Vitale, right? Like, made this industry for us, and he does more with his celebrity outside of basketball for things that matter than I could ever imagine.
Georgetown trying to crawl their way back into this one. Down just 7. Out to Sorber, extending his range. No. Rebound West Virginia.
I think that fourth foul for Sorber was a killer. It really just took him out of the game by force, right? You know, sometimes you got to take a guy out. You want to give him a break. He's not really playing how you want to play. You really needed him in that stretch run, and you didn't have him because of that foul that not a fan of, but I also go back to the first foul. You got to be smart. They all matter. I wish you just gave him 6.
DeVries thought about pulling that one.
Peavy's defense is tough. That is
shot
Peavy.
clock violation.
That is Peavy. I mean, he just fought over, kept his body on DeVries, knowing that if DeVries can turn a corner, he's going to find a way to get the shot off. He gets his body on a spin into the defender, but then fades on the shot.
Micah Peavy, a year at Texas Tech under Chris Beard, then 3 years at TCU under Jamie Dixon. And now one of the leaders of this Georgetown team. Into Sorber, quick layup misses. You could see the frustration from the Hoyas bench. That was a look. They'll take every possession.
I think Eduardo Andre just, he's influencing shots. He's blocked a few. He had a big block earlier in the second half. But he's influencing shots, even speeding you up. Defense.
Peavy going the other direction for Mack. Bounce pass forward. Williams blocked. West Virginia third in the nation in blocks. They've got 6 today, about a half below their average. Inside, Andre. DeVries steps into one. And Andre fighting for the rebound, but it goes out. Georgetown ball.
Full block? Are you giving who are you giving the full block to?
Too fast for me to tell.
Let's see. Team block.
Who's Harris?
We got it first.
Caleb Williams wanted the dunk. And another layup misses, but a late whistle. And free throws coming up for Epps.
Georgetown's been effective with some quick action, quick hitters. They've gotten looks, they've just rushed the finish. Sorber down low had one, just rushed the shot. And a good cut by Epps. And these folks don't think it's a foul. I always wonder how much the booing crowd influences officials. And people are like, nah, they're pros. I'm like, they're freaking people. That's what they are. Human beings, man. Like.
Epps gets the first free throw. Don't forget the top 10 matchup tomorrow night on ESPN2 and the ESPN app. Number 4 Kentucky taking on number 7 Gonzaga. 10 Eastern is when our coverage begins from Climate Pledge Arena in Seattle. This West Virginia team just recently knocking off Gonzaga and Ryan Nembhard in Atlantis.
I think they're good wins. I think, again, it goes back to the point where it's like, you don't know what to expect from them, so you just kind of roll with whatever you get. And you go, wow, third place in that field is pretty darn good.
Top 20 in the nation in strength of schedule to this point in the season.
Well, you get yourself in the right MTE, and yeah, you'll have it.
7 to shoot for Small. Working on Peavy. Gets around Peavy, floats it up, and what a play by Small. 21 for Javon Small.
He just has the ability to get a shot up. And sometimes that's all you can ask for is just get one up at the late clock situation. There's a steal.
Harris the other way. And he's fouled by Epps in transition.
Smaller lineup for Georgetown. They're going to have to attack quickly. Probably a little more they can do defensively. Sorber's going to come back in. High little offense-defense situation.
Sincere Harris, a sophomore from Canton, Ohio. One of 2 starters for West Virginia who transferred from Illinois, went to St. Vincent St. Mary High School.
Some high schools are like, you say it and you're like, oh. I don't know if Pittman High School has the same ring to it.
Yeah, that's what happens when a generational, one of the greatest to ever play the game goes. LeBron James, former high school.
Oh, I thought we were still talking about Pittman High School.
You were talking about you. 9-point lead for West Virginia. Mack kicks it out for Sorber. Need it.
Big.
Got it. And that's a dangerous player right there at his size to be able to do that.
He really is. I mean, the fact that you just watch him, he catches, he knows he's open, he doesn't hesitate. His instincts tell him, I'm open, I shoot. He has really made good plays, just instinctual good plays. Shooting and passing the basketball.
And Ed Cooley and company love him, love his attitude. Behind the back, Hansberry. Here comes Epps the other direction for Georgetown. Just 2 of their last 13 from the field, make it 2 of their last 14. And that'll be West Virginia ball and take us to our final media timeout, but still a ball game in Morgantown.
Look, when you have 6'10", 6'11", able to space the floor, and his shot ready. I mean, this is just good basketball, drive and kick, and you're doing this with your big young freshman. Look out. Tied at 43, Thomas Sorber picked up his 4th foul, and then West Virginia went on to go on a 10-0 run. And it's not just that they took the lead and took control of this game. They woke up the Mountaineer faithful. This place, a good crowd Friday night. We're just saying they haven't really had enough to get excited about. The 10-0 run was it. Now a 6-point lead, and Georgetown's fighting to claw back into this one.
You see the game summary at this point. Epps leading the way with 17 for Georgetown, but Javon Small has been huge. And then Tucker DeVries, 8 points in the second half. They've been meaningful points. He's also had some other plays that he's made. The question, Georgetown trailing by 6. This is not an overly veteran team. They essentially have 2 upperclassmen in their rotation. Where do you look to for answers right now for Ed Cooley?
I think Epps is there. I also don't mind. The game's still close. If you get a stop here, I wouldn't mind looking back at that flex. They've gotten great skip options when they've thrown the ball in the post. And if you can get Sorber curling tight, look out. Goodness, you just felt that one. I mean, anytime I shut up, I think something good's going to happen. So
back to a 9-point lead.
Careful with the handoff and ball screen with Sorber.
Williams in the corner, no. And Small is going to slow things up here for West Virginia.
Again, I go back. DeVries doesn't hit that shot. You can be more patient if you're Georgetown. He makes that shot. Now you feel like you've got to press.
A nice pass from DeVries across to Harris. Floats it up. Beautiful offense from the Mountaineers. Darren DeVries imploring his defense. One more stop here with 2:20 to play. Mack going baseline out for Peavy. Epps, long distance. A whistle, I believe they're going to get Small here pushing off on the rebound.
Just good basketball from West Virginia, though. DeVries up top. Nice ball movement. Splits the defense here. Just enough room to make that pass, and then a good cut by Sincere Harrison. Not an easy finish, by the way. Understanding, look, Sorber's got 4 fouls, but tough finish.
Williams trying to bounce pass it to Peavy. Another inbound for the Hoyas underneath.
Is it a kickball if you throw a bad pass off the back of someone's heel? Right?
I feel like no, right?
I feel like no. It was called such, but... And if that's the rule, a lot of rules I don't think are good rules.
Williams, another open 3. Got that one. Georgetown had to have it. Back to single digits, an 8-point lead. How about these two? This is their 54th all-time meeting.
I think we're going to get a double technical, which is utterly useless, but...
Trying to calm things down. Ed Cooley not happy at all.
Let's see who it's on. I mean, I believe it was Small. Let's see what we got. Who'd
they have it on?
Double technicals. That'll be on Jaden Epps and Javon Small, they're jawing. It's good. Hey, it's good rivalry. What are the stats? You're holding it in our hand. What are they? You're
54th meeting between these two teams. The overall score, West Virginia 2,913, Georgetown 2,911.
How about, it's on pace to be Duke and North Carolina. Now they've only played like 150 some odd less games, but still that's pretty remarkable.
54 games and a 2-point margin between these two teams. Let's take a look at what happened here between Epps and Small.
Yeah. It's like,
they were just asking about dinner options in Morgantown.
It's like, how's the Texas Roadhouse here? It's not good. Yeah, it is. Like, no, I don't think that's what they were talking about. I think cleaning it up's good. Again, I would love to have 6 fouls, so something like that doesn't impact the game, because I like the energy and the passion that you get from jawing at one another. I'm actually okay with it so long as it's kind of within the confines of a good contest.
Yeah.
I also think it gets a crowd amped up. Sometimes it's a big play. Sometimes it's a little chatterbox.
10 to shoot. Small with the ball at the logo. Working with DeVries. Small, 4 to shoot. Steps back over Epps. Makes it in! Just the night it's been for Javon Small, who has 24. Taken away. O'Connor flushes it. The Mountaineers closing the door on this one. That put O'Connor at the 1,000-point mark for his career.
I mean, you just kind of love this if you're Javon Small after getting the double technical. It was he and Epps jawing at each other, and then he gets one to bank in, as Jaden Epps did earlier in the game. And then the run out and dunk. That's nice.
Nice shot by Peavy.
He's got that too. I think you really have to be impressed with West Virginia. Being able to kind of weather the storm of a physical, slower game and then pick up the pace. Playmaking and shot making's been there.
Javon Small going to go to the line. Well, coming out.
I will say, when I was at Penn State, women's college volleyball was ridiculous. Multiple Final Fours, Russ Rose teams. A tremendous watch. At some point, they added the rally scoring, and it just got even better.
A 12-point lead for West Virginia. Small trying to make it 13, and does so.
I think there's a lot to learn from this if you're Ed Cooley and crew. A lot of potential here with this group. If Sorber doesn't get that 4th foul, different story, because he's got that in this game.
Well, Ed Cooley talked to us today about, look, for him, he wants to see progress.
Yeah, he's seeing it.
And you are seeing that from them.
Unquestionably. I think the challenge is, like, who's going to be the guy, right? I don't think you have multiple guards who can make plays, including Peavy, who's a big guard. Epps and Mack really dominate the ball a lot. I think they got the ball moving a little bit with a good flex action offense. The problem is it's stuck in guards' hands a lot. And if it's going to be more of a half-court game, you've got to get guys like Sorber involved. Not just because he can score, but he's got great instincts. He's a good passer. He also, again, we talk about great players have gravity. Well, he's got that. You know, the scouting report's going to say if he gets the ball in the post, we got to double. We got to look to just shade his way. He's got the ability to pick you apart with a pass, so he's got to be more involved. His first foul was a bad one. It ends up hurting him when he gets the 4th. And then from that point on, 10-0 run, the game's over. I won't say the game's over, but turns out that was the case.
Things are going to really turn up for Georgetown at Syracuse, and then against Creighton, then at Seton Hall. Big East play in full swing. For West Virginia, they are going to have a chance to match last season's win total before they get to Big 12 play, where they open in Lawrence on New Year's Eve.
Yeah, but I also think it's not just that. It's build confidence heading into conference play. Like, it's a team that really didn't know what to expect. I mean, every team, by the way, I say that. I think it's more of a fan base that doesn't know what to expect. So there's tempered expectations. But for West Virginia, these are players that want to go out and compete and prove that they belong at a high level. This is Tucker DeVries can prove that he belongs at a high level. And then for Darren DeVries, he can win at a high level. And here comes the gauntlet.
Kansas on New Year's Eve, and then for Georgetown, time to go for this young team. They're going to have to really start to kick things into gear.
The potential's there, though. I think what Ed Cooley's doing, especially after last year, you have no idea how difficult it is to be at Georgetown and win 9 games. Actually, I do. I played at UCLA, 2 of the worst school years in school history, so it's tough.
Scramble for the ball. Small takes it away. And Small will hold it up and let the crowd celebrate. Well, fresh off 2 top 25 wins in Atlantis and back home with a bang.
Really good performance.